The city was silent. Smoke still rose from broken buildings. The war had ended, but the planet still looked dead. Commander Alex walked alone through the ruins. His boots made soft crunching sounds on the ash-covered ground. He was a tall, strong, human soldier, wearing dark armor and carrying a large weapon on his back. His eyes looked tired. The war had taken everything from him, his friends, his peace, and his sleep. Now, he was just looking for survivors. Or maybe something useful in the wreckage. He turned a corner and entered a half-destroyed street. The buildings were burned, walls had fallen. Nothing moved until he heard a small sound, a cough, a breath. Alex raised his weapon and moved slowly. Then he saw her. A thin alien woman stumbled out from behind a broken wall. Her clothes were torn. Her face was pale. She was holding a small child in her arms. Alex froze. The woman looked up at him with wide, scared eyes. Her body was shaking. The child in her arms looked even worse. His skin was gray, his lips dry, and his tiny hand clutched her neck weakly. She took one shaky step forward, then another. Her knees bent. She fell to the ground. The child gave a weak cry, then went quiet again. Alex lowered his weapon, unsure of what to do. He had seen many aliens before. Some had fought hard, some had begged, and some had tricked humans to attack them later. But this looked different. The woman crawled a little closer. Then, with the last of her strength, she reached out and grabbed the edge of his armor. Her voice was no more than a whisper. "I'll warm your bed, please. Just feed my child." Then her head dropped. She collapsed in his arms. For a moment, everything went still. No wind, no sound. Just Alex, the woman, and the dying child. Alex stared at her. His heart beat harder. He remembered something from long ago. A little girl, crying in his arms, begging for food during Earth's first war. Little girl was his sister. She had died in his arms. Alex blinked and shook his head. This was different. This was an alien. They had fought humans. They had killed soldiers. But the child in her arms was just a child. He knelt down and touched. The boy's forehead was burning with fever. Alex sighed. Damn it. He picked up both the woman and her child. They were light to light. As he carried them back toward his small outpost, his radio crackled. "Commander Alex, report. Anything out there?" He pressed the button on his wrist. "Just ruined. Some survivors. Survivors hostile." Alex looked at the woman's pale face resting on his chest. "Not sure yet. I'll bring them in." The outpost was just a few kilometers away. It was small, built from steel plates and sandbags. A few soldiers stood guard. As Alex entered, stared at him. "What is that?" one asked. "An alien woman and her child," Alex said. "Sir, are you crazy? What if it's a trap?" Alex didn't answer. He walked straight to the med bay and laid the woman and child on 2 beds. A doctor came in and checked them. "They're starving. The child's sick, but they'll live if we feed them and give medicine." Alex nodded. Hours passed. Night came. The woman still slept. The child drank water and ate soft food. He didn't speak, but he kept looking at Alex with big dark eyes. Alex felt strange. He sat beside them, watching the stars outside. Then, movement. The woman stirred. She opened her eyes. For a moment she looked around in fear. Then she saw Alex. She sat up fast, her hands grabbing the edge of the bed. Where is he?" Alex pointed to the next bed. "He's safe, sleeping." The woman looked, her face relaxed. Then she looked back at Alex. Why did you help me?" Alex didn't answer right away. "I don't know," he said at last. "Maybe because no one helped me once." She looked down, her hands trembled. "Thank you." She didn't ask for more. She didn't beg again. She just sat quietly, watching her son sleep. Alex stood up. "West, we'll talk tomorrow." He walked out, but he felt something inside. His chest and old pain waking up again. Outside, one of his soldiers was waiting. "Sir, what's the plan?" "Keep them here." Alex looked at the stars. "We'll see." That night, while everyone slept, the woman slowly got out of bed. She walked toward the supply room. She found a small blade on a table. She picked it up and disappeared into the dark hallway. The metal hallway was quiet. Only the sound of flickering lights echoed off the walls. The woman moved like a ghost, barefoot, silent, blade in hand. Her long gray hair hung loose around her face. Her thin body shook with every step, but her eyes were sharp now, focused. She wasn't running. She was searching, not for food, not for escape, for something else. Inside the control room, Commander Alex sat alone, staring at an old photo on his datapad, a picture of his sister. She couldn't have been older than 7 when she died. A soft alarm beeped. "Motion sensor west hallway." Alex stood up fast. He grabbed his sidearm and stepped out, boots thudding lightly on the steel floor. He didn't need to ask who it was. He already knew. He found her standing in front of a locked door, blade in one hand, the other resting gently on the wall. The woman didn't turn around. "You should be asleep," Alex said quietly. "You should have left me to die," she answered. Her voice was calm, not angry, just tired. Alex raised his weapon but didn't aim it at her. "What's behind that door that you need a knife for?" Now she turned. Her eyes met his. "It's not the knife that matters," she said. "It's the truth." Then, slowly, she dropped the blade. "I don't want to hurt you. I just need something I buried." long before your people came. Alex stared at her for a long second. You knew we'd find this place. She nodded. I was waiting for humans. I just didn't think you'd be kind. Alex lowered his gun. Explain now. Back in the small medical room, the boy started to cry softly. The doctor rushed to his side, but the room felt cold, and the lights flickered unnaturally. The child's eyes were glowing faintly, like something inside him was waking up. Back in the hallway, the woman knelt down and pressed her palm to a hidden panel near the floor. With a soft click, part of the wall slid open, revealing a small black box covered in dust, marked with alien symbols. She picked it up gently, like it was alive. This is what they want, she whispered. Alex frowned. Who's they? The ones who destroyed my world, not your army. The collectors. Alex's face hardened. He'd heard rumors, shadows in war reports, ships that came after, battles, taking survivors. What's in the box? She looked at him with haunted eyes. A key, not to a door, not to a weapon, to a child's future. Suddenly, the alarm screamed. Red lights flashed across the outpost. A soldier's voice crackled over the radio. Commander, unidentified ship approaching fast. Alex grabbed his cum. Get everyone underground now. Defensive mode. He looked at the woman. Is this your doing? She held the box tight to her chest. They were already coming. They can smell what I carry. What are they after? Not the box, she said. She looked toward the medical room. My son. Cut 2. Outside the outpost, the sky was burning. A sleek black ship entered the atmosphere without sound. Its surface shimmered like oil and water as it hovered above the outpost. The ground below shook. A voice echoed in the comm system. Robotic cold. Return the hybrid, or be erased. Back inside, Alex's heart raced. He looked at the boy's room. The child was standing now, as glowing like stars, body too still. Alex turned to the woman. What is he? She looked straight into his eyes, and for the first time she seemed afraid. Half human, half human. Half human. Here's the reason I begged. Not for me, but for what he could become. Alex looked back at the hallway. Then we protect him. The alien ship fires a warning shot close enough to shake the whole outpost. Alex grabs the child and the woman, pulling them into a bunker. As the door shuts behind them, the woman whispers, if they get him, they'll find Earth. Next, Alex clenches his fists. Then we make our stand here. Darkness. The lights flicker back on in the underground bunker. Dust falls from the ceiling. The air smells like smoke and old metal. Commander Alex checks the steel door, still holding for now. The woman clutches her child tightly. His eyes are still glowing, softly now, like a dying ember. Alex turns to her. You said they want him. Why? What's inside him? She doesn't answer right away. Instead, she opens the black box she took from the wall. Inside, a small white sphere. It pulses dim blue light, like a heartbeat. This is a seed, she whispers. Ancient tech, living code. I gave it to him when he was born. It became part of him. Alex frowns. Why would you do that? She looks at him. Because my people were dying and your people were killing, but I believed something new could survive. She holds without the box. Take it if you promise me one thing. Alex doesn't move. Promise what? Protect him, no matter the cost, even if it means giving up Earth. Silence. Alex's eyes narrow. You're asking me to choose between one child and my planet. She nods. I'm asking you to make the choice no soldier wants to make, because the collectors won't stop with him. They want the seed to rewrite life itself, and if they get it, Alex asks, they'll use it to become gods. Above ground, the collectors wait. Tall, thin machines with long limbs and glowing red eyes. They move slowly, without fear. One of them walks to the entrance and presses its metal hand to the wall. The steel melts under its touch. They are coming back. In the bunker, the child suddenly speaks for the first time. Soft voice, clear, not in his mother's language, in English. They're inside. Alex grabs his weapon. How do you know? The boy touches the floor with his fingers. His eyes glow brighter now, like a small sun. They talk in light. I can hear them. Alex backs up slowly. You can hear machines. The boy nods. They are scared of me. They should be. The woman grabs her son's arm gently. No, not now. You are not ready. Alex steps forward. We don't have time. He's the only one who knows what they're doing. He might be our only chance. She stands, firm now, full of quiet strength. I will give you the seed, but I want a deal. Alex stares. You're bargaining during an attack. She nods. Yes, because if we survive and they come back, I won't be your prisoner. I want safety for me, for him, and one more thing. What? I want your name. Alex blinks. What? You saved us. You fight like a ghost. But I don't even know what to call the man I trusted my son with. Alex breathes out slowly. Commander Alex Rayner. The woman finally smiles. Weak but real. I'm Ira. And this is Kale. Alex kneels in front of Kale. You've got power, Kale, but power needs control. Kale tilts his head. I don't want to hurt people. Then help me stop them. Kale nods. He presses his hand to the ground again. The light inside him spreads. Tiny blue threads race along the floor like roots. Far above. The collector ship begins to shake. One of the machines suddenly shuts down. Alex looks up at the ceiling. What did he just do? Ira whispers. He just spoke their language and gave them a warning. Cliffhanger ending. A new alarm blares. Not from the collector ship. From the old human network buried deep below the outpost. A human voice speaks. Through static. Unknown signal detected. Class 0 anomaly. Sending reinforcements. Alex's eyes widen. Earth just found him. Ira grabs his arm. You don't understand your people. They'll want him to. Alex looks at Kale. The child is glowing. Caught between two enemies, he says. Mostly to himself. Now I have to protect him from everyone. Asterisk smoke. Fire. Shaking walls. The outpost was no longer safe. Metal screamed as the collector. Machines tore through the upper levels. Commander Alex grabbed a small packwater, ammo, food, the seed. He looked at the boy and his mother. We run now. Ira held Kale's hand tightly. Her face was pale, but her steps were steady. They didn't go out the main exit, they went down. There was a forgotten escape tunnel built when the war first began, covered in dust, filled with broken pipes and old wires. Alex led the way. Flashlight, cutting through the dark. This tunnel leads to the forest. We'll lose them in the trees. Kale walked silently, eyes glowing just enough to light the path ahead, behind them. The ground vibrated. The collectors were coming. Above largest collector called Harvester 9 stood among the dead. Its body was tall and thin, made of black steel. A long cloak of energy flowed behind it. It touched the ground where Kale had stood. It spoke in a deep, alien voice. The seed has awakened. Its head turned toward the distant forest. Begin the hunt. 4 spider-like drones shot into the air, scanning, tracking. The hunt had begun. On the tunnel they reached the exit, heavy steel grate, half buried under leaves and dirt. Alex pushed it open. Fresh air hit their faces. The forest was dark and quiet. Night had fallen. Alex helped Ira and Kale out first, then followed, but something felt wrong. Too quiet. Kale suddenly looked up. They're here. Seconds later, a blinding red light shot through the trees. Alex shouted, move. They ran. Laser blasts hit trees beside them, setting leaves on fire. Kale stumbled. Ira picked him up without a word and kept going. Alex fired behind them, hitting one of the drones. It exploded mid-air, but 2 more took its place. They don't stop, Ira gasped. Then we keep running, Alex growled. They found an old transport truck half covered in moss near the edge of a dried-up riverbed. Alex jumped in. Hot-wired, the engine. The truck roared to life. They sped off, tires kicking up mud and broken roots. Kale looked out the back window. The forest behind them was glowing red. They're calling others, he whispered. Others? Alex asked. Kale looked at him, his voice colder now. They don't just collect tech. They collect life, brains, memory, identity. Ira closed her eyes. Like my sister. Alex glanced at her. They took her. She nodded. Her body came back, but not her soul. Later that night, the truck broke down in the hills. Engine overheated. Fuel gone. They set up a small camp in a cave behind a waterfall. Ira sat with Kale, wrapping him in a blanket. Alex stood at the cave entrance, rifle in hand. The stars were out. Too quiet again. They'll find us, he muttered. Ira walked up beside him. We can't run forever. Alex turned to her. Then what do we do? She looked at Kale, then back at him. We make a deal with who? She hesitated. Your people. Alex's eyes narrowed. Earth doesn't make deals. Earth takes what it wants. Then you'll have to choose again, she said softly. Them or him. Deep in the stars above, a secret human warship listens to Kale's energy signal. On board, a voice says, target locked, seed confirmed, preparing extraction. Back on the planet, Kale suddenly wakes from sleep. He looks straight into the night sky and whispers, they're coming for me, not just the machines, but your people too. Alex stares at him. Then we don't run anymore. He cocks his weapon. We fight. Before the war, before the collectors, before Kale, there was only darkness and something older than machines. A glowing sphere floated in deep space. Alone, breathing light. It was not made. It was born. They called it the seed. It drifted for 1,000 years until it crashed on a blue-gray planet, Ira's home. Some saw it as a miracle, some as a weapon. The humans came soon after, not as saviors, but as invaders. They found the seed. They tried to take it. They failed. Present day. The cave. The fire was almost out. Ira sat beside Kale, brushing ash from his cheek. He was quiet, tired, glowing softly. Alex sat across from them, his rifle across his knees. It's time, he said. For what? Ira asked. The truth, all of it. She nodded slowly. Her face was calm, but her eyes carried a storm. Kale is not just a child, she said. He's the first of something new. Alex stayed silent. I was one of the scientists chosen to study the seed. My people believed we could use it to heal our dying world. But the humans came, she continued. They said they wanted peace, but they took everything. Her hands shook. One of your men, took me. Alex looked down, jaw clenched. I didn't know. I didn't ask you to, she said softly. I hated him, but when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't feel hate anymore. I felt fear. She looked at Kale because I knew the child would be different. Kale opened his eyes. I hear you both, he said quietly. Alex looked at him. What do you hear? Cale pointed to his chest. Voices, memories, of things that are not mine. Are they from the seed? Cale nodded. It's inside me now. I don't know where it ends, and I begin. Ira pulled him close. Alex, lean forward. Can you control it? Can you control it? Not yet, Cale whispered, but I will. Outside the cave, strange winds began to blow. A low hum filled the air. Alex stepped out in the sky. A small human dropship hovered. It was black, unmarked, silent. A voice came from his old comling, one he hadn't used in weeks. Commander Alex Rayner. This is Control Black. You are harboring an asset of high interest. Surrender the seed bearer immediately. Alex didn't answer. The voice grew colder. This is not a request. Extraction team inbound. Alex walked back inside, face pale. We have a bigger problem. Ira stood up. Your people found us. Alex nodded. They tracked Cale's energy signature. So now what? She asked. Alex looked at Cale. Now I choose. Flashback ends. Alex remembered Earth, his medals, his orders, the silence in his sister's grave. He looked at Cale, the boy who wasn't just a boy anymore. I've followed orders all my life, Alex said. Not anymore. He smashed the cum device with his boot. Ira gasped. He just declared war on your own people. Alex looked at her, voice hard. No, I declared family. From above the trees, the collector ship and the human dropship moved toward each other, two enemies, both chasing the same boy. Cale stepped outside the cave, his body glowing, his feet bare, his voice calm. If they want me, they can come. Alex stepped beside him, but they won't leave with you. Cale closed his eyes. The ground beneath him began to shine. The forest trembled. Ira whispered. He's changing. Asterisk. The trees were silent. The wind held its breath. Commander Alex stood beside Cale at the mouth of the cave. His weapon was ready. His mind, WASN single quotes T.EIRA, stayed in the shadows, watching both of them like a mother wolf, tired but deadly. Two ships now hovered in the night sky. One was human, one was machine. Both wanted the boy. Neither wanted peace. Alex whispered, they'll kill each other, just to own you. Cale didn't answer. His eyes glowed bright, brighter than ever before. His skin shimmered like starlight. He was changing. Flashback from Cale's mind, running through memories that weren't his planets burning. Voices screaming in alien languages. He saw the collectors swallowing cities. He saw Earth's leaders promising safety, but planning to slice him open to understand the seed. And in the middle of it all, he saw his mother's face, always afraid, always protecting. I don't want to be their weapon, Cale whispered to himself. Back to present. The arrival of the collector ship landed with a heavy hum. Its energy crackled in the air like lightning trapped in a bottle. From the other side, the human dropship touched down, black armor, red visors and guns aimed high. Two armies. One child. No good endings. A loudspeaker cracked from the human side. Commander Rayner, step away from the hybrid. Final warning. Alex didn't move. Cale stepped forward. I'll go, he said quietly. Ira gasped. No. Cale turned to her. His voice wasn't angry, just calm. If I run, they'll never stop. But if I go, maybe I can stop them. Alex shook his head. You don't know what they'll do. Cale smiled just a little. They don't know what I'll do either. Ira pulled Cale into her arms. You're not ready, she whispered. I was never supposed to exist. Cale replied, but I do, so I have to try. Tears slipped down her face. Then a sudden sharp sound, a pulse blast fired. The collector ship attacked first, screaming metal, exploding dirt. The trees caught fire, the humans fired back. It was chaos. Alex pushed Cale to the ground. Stay low. But one of the collector drones flew past, aiming straight for the boy. Ira saw it. Time slowed. She threw herself in front of him. The blast hit her in the back. She collapsed, arms still reaching out for her son. Mama, Cale screamed. Alex dragged him behind a rock, but it was too late. Ira lay still. No sound, no light, just silence. Something inside Cale broke, not like a tear, like a crack in a star. His body rose into the air, light bursting from his skin. His voice came like thunder. Stop. Everything froze. The human soldiers, the collectors, even the flames. Frozen mid-motion. Time itself had obeyed him. Alex stared up at him, half in fear, half in awe. Cale, what are you? The boy's voice echoed like it came from the center of the universe. I'm not human. I'm not alien. I'm the choice neither side made, but both created. He turned to the two frozen armies. You kill because you fear what you don't understand. Now I will show you what fear really is. A pulse of energy shot from his chest. The collector ship exploded mid-air. The human ship's engines burned out and collapsed. The machines felt. Soldiers fainted. Only Alex remained standing. Cale dropped to his knees beside Iris's body. He placed a glowing hand on her chest. Come back, Mama, please. But the light faded. Even he couldn't bring her back. Alex knelt beside him, voice soft. You saved everyone. Cale's eyes were full of tears and stars. But I couldn't save her. Alex put a hand on his shoulder. She saved you, with love. That's a kind of power even the seed can't match. Cale looked to the stars. They'll come again. Alex nodded. Then we'll be ready. The camera pulls back a boy glowing with the light of galaxies, a soldier with a broken heart but unshakable will, mother's body, still warm from sacrifice. The war had changed. Now, so had its weapon. The world was quiet again, the fire was gone, the smoke had cleared, but the ground still remembered. Charred metal, broken machines, fallen soldiers, human and alien, and standing in the middle of it all, a boy, barefoot, glowing, changed. Cale was no longer just a child. He was something new, something the galaxy had never seen before. Commander Alex stood beside him, armor scratched, one arm in a sling, his face harder, and somehow softer. They had buried Ira beneath the tallest tree near the waterfall. Cale, who had carved her name in both human and alien script, Mother of Peace, Mother of Power. Elsewhere in deep space, human generals watched the footage, Cale stopping time, destroying a collector ship with thought, melting weapons with light. They were afraid. He's too dangerous, one said. He's too important, said another. He belongs to Earth. A voice from the shadows replied. He belongs to no one. Back on the planet, Cale stared at the sky. They're watching, listening. Alex nodded. They always do. They'll come, yes. Again, always. Cale looked up at him. What will you do? Alex smiled. Just a little, I'll stand beside you. Cale looked confused, but I'm not human. Alex kneeled to face him, eye to eye. You don't need blood to be family. You don't need to be born on Earth to fight for it. You don't need permission to be good. He placed a hand on Cale's shoulder, and you don't need to be human to be humanity's best chance. Suddenly a new signal activated in Cale's body. He gasped. Another seed woke up. Alex's face tensed, where Cale's eyes glowed bright. He pointed to the sky. Out there, far away, but calling me. Alex stood. Then we go. There's a ship left from the war. Buried, old, ugly, perfect. Cale smiled, just a little. You coming with me? Alex picked up his gear. Kid, I didn't go through hell to raise a superweapon. I'm raising a soldier, a hero, my son. Final scene, launch pad. They stood together at the edge of the ruined world. A boy who could bend stars, a man who had only bullets and a reason to fire them. The ship rose from the ashes like a phoenix, black, rusted but alive again. Screen flashes white. Voiceover by Cale as ship enters space. They called me a monster, a miracle, a mistake. But someone called me son, and that made me something else. A fighter, a protector, a weapon, made from love. Humanity. F***K, yeah.